Niggas think they play up till they meet a real P bitch. And I taste like sugar, but ain't a damn thing sweet, bitch. I would never let another nigga try me like no weak bitch. I'm pretty, but I take a nigga life.
As you can tell by the title, this story time is messy as hell. Okay, so let's just start off with Mom. In high school, I had a car, but it was like my grandfather's car, so like we shared a car. But then when I turned 16, I called myself being grown, and I snuck out the house to see some boy. And on the way coming back home, I fell asleep and I hit an 18-wheeler in the back. Fell asleep, totaled my car. Good thing I was safe, but I really didn't have a car like that in high school. So this is the background story of it all. My mom, she would let me drive her car from time to time. I did used to be kind of bad and smoke in her car and stuff when I was supposed to, but I mean, like, what teenager doesn't rebel? Like, that's just a teenage thing. It wasn't like I'm over here committing felony fucking crimes, you know what I mean? So that happened. My mom, she used to hate me driving her car, smoking and all this shit, but she still would let me drive her car from time to time. Even if she didn't let me drive her car, I had friends that drove, so it's not like I couldn't just hit my friend up and have them pick me up. So fast forward to December 9th, which is my birthday. It was 2017. I was turning 17 years old. I asked my mom, could I get the car? And one thing about my mom, she goes to sleep really, really early. Like, when I say really early, I mean really early. To the point where it's 7, 8 o'clock, she's falling asleep. And you know how, like, when people are asleep, they say one thing, but they might not have meant it. I had asked her while she was, like, halfway asleep if I could drive the car. She said yes. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, got the keys, got ready, text my friend, tell her I'm about to come get her. I text my friend, picked my friend up, came back to my house with the car, and then proceeded to go to the club with my friend because I was turning 17, even though I wasn't old enough for the club. You know, you still sneak in the club at 17, you know, typical teenage shit. So this particular night, I'm driving, you know, nothing's out the ordinary. I get a random call from an unknown number. For one, I don't even answer unknown numbers. I just happen to answer this unknown number today. So I pick it up. Why is it the police saying that my mother has reported her car stolen, and that if I don't bring the car back in 20 minutes, it's going to be a warrant out for my arrest? I'm like, how is my mom reporting the car stolen? Well, she hasn't called me, she hasn't texted me, she hasn't said anything. Most parents would reach out to their kids and be like, okay, where you at? I don't think I remember saying you could drive your car, even though I'm not ever crazy enough or bold enough to steal anybody's car, sneak anybody's car. That's just never been my thing. Like, yeah, I used to sneak out the house, but take your car, like, that's OD. I would have never done that because you can get caught up like that. So I'm pissed off. Didn't even get to smoke any weed, didn't even get to drink. I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but you know, of course, you 17 drinking and stuff like that. Didn't get to do anything for my birthday. So I'm driving back home, dropped off all my friends. I come back home, I see the police car in the front of my house. Like, my house is set up where it's like on a slant, and so they was in the front of my house, and it was like the driveway's in the back. So like, he kind of saw me, but when I pulled up, he had saw me. So he's like rushes. I'm trying to get my stuff to like get out the car. I'm like, you want your car back? Okay, here's your car back. I had already text my friend to be on the way to pick me up because I'm not about to stay at my mom's house. Just because it's like, why you calling the police on me? Like, with the climate today, why you calling the police on your black child? I don't understand that. I will never understand that. I'm 21 years old and I still don't understand that. And I have my kids of my own that I would never call the police on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some things you don't do. But I know she only did it because my stepdad, weird ass, fucking probably talked her into this, doing the shit. Excuse my language. But I just know how, you know how stepdads are real weird. They have power issues and stuff like that. So he probably talked her into calling the police. over nothing. All you had to do was call me and I would have brought the car back. You didn't have to call the police on me or anything like that. I sometimes feel like I still have built up anger behind my mom behind this. But anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna get back to my story time. So yeah, he comes to the car. He's like, license registration. I'm like, why am I doing all this? You know I have my license. Like, you know I have my license. Like, I'm not getting pulled over. This is my house. Why am I have to pull out license and registration? But one thing about police officers, they're very power hungry. So what happened? So I gave him my license and registration, and he's like, it smells like weed in the car. It smells like weed in the car. Keep in mind, I did get some, well, it smells like tree in the car. And I did get some tree because, of course, if I smoke, I was going to smoke in the club, enjoying myself, enjoying my 17th birthday like most people do. It's my birthday. So, you know, I'm just like, it's no tree, blah, blah. For one, why does that matter? You worrying about the car. Let me get off the car so I can get the car back. Well, I'm not getting pulled over. I'm not getting arrested. So why are we trying to investigate and do all of this? So then my mom comes outside when this is happening. And it's just something just snapped at me. Like, one thing about me, I'm a firecracker. I'm a firecracker, and if I am upset about something, I'm going to react on it. I know that's not good. I'm working on it, but when I saw my mama, I wanted to jump on her and fight her, which is very disrespectful. I don't encourage any children to be fighting their mother, doing anything like that with their mother. So I wanted to jump on her. I attempted to jump out the car. The police officers hold me back, so I'm like kicking him, fighting him. I'm not meaning to, but it's like I was just enraged. It was just happening so quick. So he's like, I'm about to put you under arrest. So keep in mind, it's winter time, but you know, it's still your birthday. I have on this long sleeve dress on. I had heels to wear, but I wasn't that good at walking in heels at the time, so I'm barefoot. He pulls me out the car so hard, my wig falls off. He literally slams me on the ground, put his knee in my back. I'm over here snotting, crying, snotting. I'm over here just yelling at my mom like, this is what you do to me, this is what you do to me. Because it's just like, how as a mother can you do this to your child? Which I still don't understand how she could have done this to her kid. So I'm like, you really doing this to me? You really doing this to me behind nothing? So he ended up just, you know, it was just a whole big thing. Wig breaks out, dress coming up, barefoot, crying, snotty, on the face on the ground, like I done robbed 50 banks. It's just a whole lot of mess. I get up, he has called back up. It's 10 police officers in my driveway for little on me. These people out here getting murdered. These people out here get kidnapped. Y'all worried about little on me and behind the car. And behind a little bit of, I think I had like an eighth of tree in my car. Nothing even that major for 10 police officers to come through. So they arrest me. And of course, I'm still mad at my mom. So I tell my mama, when I get out, I'm going to beat her A. Like, point blank period. I'm going to beat you up. Like, because I'm mad. Why'd you get me arrested? And I'm about to have a record behind you. Behind something dumb. If you didn't want me to drive the car, you should have said that when I came back with the car. Like, it doesn't make sense of me leaving the house, coming back, and then leaving again. Like, who doesn't stop a person if they don't feel like they need to drive the car? And for when you didn't even reach out, you didn't see where I was at, nothing. You just called the police on me. Like, that's just being too petty. Like, some parents don't think about the actions that they do towards their kids, and it just fucks them up at the end. So that happens. I go to jail that night. When I go to jail, I get booked. I have to literally spend, so this happened at like 12 in the morning. I literally spend all day in jail, in a holding cell, because I was 17 at the time, so they legally couldn't put me with other adults. So I'm crying my eyes out in jail. Keep in mind, I don't have a wig on. I don't have any shoes on in this nasty ass jail. I'm in a little ass dress in this nasty ass jail. Cold, depressed, trying to figure out why my mom even called the police on me. Why am I even in this situation? And the funny thing is, while I'm getting booked, I turn over and I see my coworker who I work with at Taco Bell, because I was in high school at the time. Taco Bell was my first job. I see my coworker got arrested too on domestic violence charges. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm already more embarrassed that somebody I know is seeing me in jail. That's embarrassing. Being in jail is not cute. It's really embarrassing. So, long story short, I spent the whole day in jail. Just slept my life away, because I stayed in jail so long they had me change out of my clothes, and I got slippers and they tried to feed me. I didn't even want the food. I was just thinking about getting out of there, I was trying to call my mom every second I could. My mom was not answering the phone. She was answering the phone. I'm like, you trying to prove a point that bad? You trying to prove a point that bad that you literally are leaving me in jail behind a car? Like, that you have to pay, you trying to prove a point so bad, you're coming out of pocket, having to get me lawyers, having to get me a bond, bills bondsman. It was just so dumb. I caught like 3 charges that night: possession of marijuana, unauthorized use of motor vehicle, and communicating threats, because they wrote down when I told mom I was gonna beat her 8 when I got out of jail, trying to be petty, trying to just have something to say. So I just was trying to figure out why at 17 years old did I have to do with this. This is just part 1 of the story. It's gonna be a second part to the story, because y'all gonna understand how me at 17, how this situation has turned my life all the way upside down to where I'm at now. Thank you for listening to my story.